duplicate texture, you're going to have to study and understand how the light plays over the textured surface. So observation is going to be very important as we move through these different textures that we're going to be doing. Well, I'm ready to start. I hope you can join me. As we develop our darker area as it comes down from here to here, this is called a contour shadow because it gets increasingly dark as it follows the contour of the egg. And I can't repeat often enough, the transition needs to be very smooth. So I'm going to go just a little ways down, very light pressure. I'm going to lay a second layer. I don't want it to get too dark too fast, so very light as it moves around, all around haloing that highlight area. This is the only texture that we're going to be studying in this series of drawings that you have to be this careful with. Everything else is just a little rougher. In some ways, the smooth texture can be the hardest and most difficult to achieve. This is real dark in here, but to add a little bit of artistic flair, I want some light up in this area too. So I'm going to add artistic license in this area and let some sunlight in, so it won't be quite so dark as my picture. And that's fine. You can redesign these clouds at will, and as you have a feeling for them, you are God of this cloud system. See how subtle that is with just a little bit of graphite? And I can go back in, rub a little bit more in my sky. It'll help blend, pick up some more graphite, and use it to actually work with. And we never actually drew a pencil harsh edge on there. By the blending and the working back and forth, we're going to get that soft, fluffy feel, like you don't quite know where the edge is. It's there, but it's so soft, so misty, that it's almost invisible. I'm not sure what this is, maybe a big wormhole, but I decided I'm not putting that in, so we'll just skip that over. Some fine cracks going up through the wood. Now wavy lines actually follow a pattern. I've set a pattern here. My next line up is going to follow that in and out of that first one that I've set. That's going to help establish a grainy pattern in this wood. As I establish a new pattern, I'll incorporate that in. That has a little different grain work to it, so I'm going to go up. Following the first pattern that I set. If I want a new pattern a little bit different, then as these come together, I'll incorporate both sides. Something like this. Okay, make sure you have a nice point on your pencil as you begin. You can rest your hand on a paper towel to keep moisture and hand oil off the paper. And we're going to go very short little strokes, leaning away from that nose in all directions. I'm going to continue to build. Notice I'm not going in rows, but I'm building out in one area, letting it flare out, coming back and picking some of that up. That's probably the biggest pitfall when you're doing a crisscross line, is to avoid that row effect. Get in the idea, get in the habit of working in one area, switching to another area, and gently filling that in. As you get a rhythm going, it'll get easier. Now we can go in and give a little more definition to this. It is a white flower, so I don't want to get too heavy. So I'm going to put a little bit of scribble in these tighter areas. Again, it's not a kinky, repetitive movement, but it's this way and that way, filling in very loosely. Catch some more of those outer edges. Find another area here that is a little tighter down in here. Queen Anne's lace is made up of thousands of little petals, and that's what I'm trying to capture and depict. There's no way I'm going to draw each petal, but I can give a good rendition with the scribble stroke of how it looks. It looks soft, it looks fluffy, it looks wild.